similar piece, a little bit bigger. It's a twin to a bowl I had produced earlier, and that came out pretty decent. Again, solid bowl finish on that. A lot of sanding.
Turned wet?
No, but this stuff had sat in my basement since February and it started turning in November, and it still moved. This moved. This was a challenge. Just
now when you move out of its way, right?
You got to be careful. I have a Powermatic lathe and I have an extension port. I'm going to try it one time. You take your extension, you drop it down, put your headstock the whole way to the end, and I can turn a 38-inch bowl, I think. So this is about 22 inches, 21 and a half, 22 inches. And again, it's smaller, and it started to crack as I was prepping it. It took me 2 days to get it to a shape that I could get it on the lathe. I couldn't lift it up on the bandsaw. It's terrible. And what I'm going to do with it, I don't know. But it's like the mountain. It was there, so I did it. A lot of setup on your lathe. To take that extension must weigh 75 pounds. So it's back up on the lathe, and that's the last big bowl I'm going to do. But that was fun. That's a lot of fun.
Where's the tailstock when you have that extension on it?
That's a great question. There is no tailstock.
No.
So the question is, how do you take this heavy piece and trust it to hollow out?
Yeah.
And I was going to ask her, Ted, do you have any suggestions? But there it is. That's what held that sucker. That was the tailstock. It was the chunk in there, expanded out. Constantly tweaking it, constantly touching it so it didn't loosen up, because if that baby let go, somebody was going to hurt. Maybe even my wife upstairs. Very heavy. And there were a lot of fun. I don't know why you want to pass that.
Tell you what, if you want to look at the big one, you can stop up there after the meeting. How's that?
It's awful heavy. They came out of a big flank.
Okay, let's move on to our demo for tonight. I think we got...
That was fun, but that's enough for a while.
Are you starting with the meeting?
I brought a sheet that was walking amount of hot milk movement, so one more than anything about a couple minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kurt has something to do with that.
Yeah, and Keith brought some jam chucks too.
I have some.
But you want to cover that?
To turn the bottom of the bowl off at this time. This is the basic, what they call a jam chuck. Now, I don't know, for the new people who don't have a lot of equipment or whatever, it's very basic. This is just a screw, a screw chuck right into there to hold that. And what you can do, you can go to you can use a 2x12, you find a clear 2x12, or this one here, I bought some glued up board from, like, say, Home Depot. You can buy these panels, and they're relatively stable, fairly clear. And I know probably a lot of the experienced turners, you might have used these. I use it. That was my first one. And you can hang on to them and keep them. This bowl here, this was done just last year, and this is kind of a natural edge, but to me, how was I going to hold it, to turn the foot off, to get the foot nice and clean? Well, you can see what I did, and actually these are very, very simple to do, but what you must do when you have them on your lathe, you bring the tailstock up, you bring your tailstock up and you have your, what you call it, setting in there, to kind of hold that in tight. Now there's several different things you can do. You can probably tape a lot of different ways, but this has worked for me, and I guess what it is the results, that as long as you get the result, then to me it's okay. There's several different ways of doing it. Some other things that I have here that this is kind of a homemade mandrel, the jam chuck thing here. What I would have done This is, you know, screwed on. You can put your screws into this, have this thing turn, and this extension. What I got to say is, when you're always trying, this is an expensive hobby. When I try a project and do something, I always got to buy something to end up doing what I started out trying to do. But these are extensions, and they come in very handy, especially with the lake that I have Charmatic. But if you're turning a bowl, you know, you would put this on, and the bowl is bigger, you know, it would wrap around and hit your headstock. So, I mean, it's kind of basic, but how I make this work, this is kind of rough, and I have a piece of just some foam that I found, packing foam, and you can put this in, you know, like that, you know, and bring up the tailstock, and, you know, you can adjust it. And actually, it could slip if you have a catch, but it does work, and I haven't lost one yet coming on. But that works well. And last month I brought in some wheat pots that I churned. I don't have the wheat pots; they were given away for Christmas. A wheat pot is a kind of a shape, maybe about this big, and you would put weeds in, you know, weeds or flowers, or in this case I used button idea from Doc and Hour's Christmas show. You know, he did very nice. Well, these things, what you need to do, I wish I would have had the vase, but if you had the, you have to turn the end of it, turn the tail off. Well, you have to drill. You have to be able to drill. I'm not saying this right, and I wish I had the thing, but this is a manual. But once you have the hole drilled for the wheat pot, then now you can put this on and have this in the chuck, a 4-drum chuck, and that allows you to turn. It's simple, but I'm sure a lot of you experienced guys have done it. But that works. That worked well for that. As long as you turn it to the drill side you use. Now that's basically for wheat pots. Wheat pots are very.
Now, you put a piece of foam on the bottom of it for the drugs?
Pardon me?
Now, you put anything on the bottom when you poke it into the wheat pot so it doesn't spin or anything? Or
This was basically a tight, kind of a tight fit. Yeah.
You go up the tail stuff, right?
Well, you can, yeah. And I did, but at some point, you know, you can cut that off. It's not going to get away from you because it's stuck on there. As long as you have light pressure, you know, on these bottoms, I like to do the bottoms kind of nice and clean.
Yeah.
And I take very light cuts on it. And there might be a little bump on the end here that I will take.
So you make a snug fit with that?
A snug fit, yeah, with this type of device.
Then you just make some slight cuts.
Slight cuts. Yeah, and that seems to work. I'd like to do a couple more of those because people like them and I gave them to. But anyway, these are just different types of mandrels that I've used when I had a certain type of shape or something, you know, and put it in and use something, you know, like that foam there, you know, and I guess, you know, that's a very, very inexpensive and kind of a cool way. This bowl here, I was just going to show this is a bowl I bought in Maine. This was a professional turner up there. This is something I admire his work, but you can see how, you know, this would fit in there, you know, and most likely he would have done something like that. Because if you're using, like, this is another system, this is a vacuum chuck, then it would probably work too. But if you don't have a vacuum chuck and a vacuum system, you have to use these jam chuck things. But that's how that works. But over there, if you want to look, there's I have a vacuum system I developed about 2 years ago. There was a catalog. It was a surplus supply coming from Nebraska, and they had these listed in there. I went online and I saw them, the gas pump. They're very expensive. This was a used one. The application where it came from, I don't know. But I read up on how to do this, and I love that system. I don't turn enough, but that system works very, very well. I wish I could find more of these things, and, the pumps, and let you guys know, where they are. Every now and then I look online to see if they have them. eBay, might have some, and they might sell for $100 a quarter or something. But that system, that works very, very well. And with these are, the bowls will fit on that. These will, the vacuum will hold on. It doesn't take a whole lot of vacuum. That's in my experience with it. Very, very, I think maybe 5 inches of mercury or less even on that. In fact, the last bowl that I did, I was, this one here, I was using that one on it, and I was worried about sucking the bottom, and, I could see an indent, and I was thought, well, I better turn the pressure off a little bit, so, but I still, it's a good system, I like that, so, okay, that's about all I have.
Thank you. Before Ted starts, I want to remind everyone, I'm going to pass the sign-up sheet around. Woodcrafters lets us use this room for our meeting, and it's a nice meeting place, and we're really glad that they offer that. The only thing they ask is that they know who is here each night. So if you're a member, find your name on the list and sign next to it. If you're not a member, just flip it up and give us your name and contact information. That's the only thing Woodcrafters ask, so that they know who's been here in their store tonight.